Hello guys, and our Russian geography lessons continue because we continue to demilitarize Russia. Those of you who follow the events of the Russian war against Ukraine from the very beginning of this full-scale invasion, remember that one of Putin's goals was to demilitarize Ukraine. But we decided to, a little bit change the perspective and demilitarize Russia. Tonight, Ukrainian drones visited Voronezh, Lipetsk, Tambov, Belgorod, Kursk regions, targeting important military objects, damaging or destroying them, and actually neutralizing a lot of Russian war criminals too. So let's discuss about this choice of the targets, but most importantly, what is wrong with the Russian air defense? Because as I watch these videos of the explosions on the Russian military objects, I keep listening to the Russians who record these videos and their comments, and trust me, they are not dissatisfied, and somehow they like war in Ukraine, but they don't like it in Russia. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see the defeat and demilitarization of Russia, that is the only peace plan that can work, subscribe and share these videos if you share my opinion. So according to this open sources data, things that you can see literally from the satellite images and from tons of videos shared by the Russian citizens who do not know one of the main rules of any war, you never share the videos from the place previously targeted by your enemy. But lucky Russians know that we only choose legitimate military objects, and this time Ukrainian drones visited Lipetsk, and in Lipetsk they have a very big military air base that is home to evil Russian bombers Su-34, Su-35 and MiG-31. You know, they often use them to target Ukrainian cities, to ruin our homes, hospitals and schools, so the best way to protect us, especially in the context when the White House halts Patriot missiles that are totally defensive weapons, we need, to make these preemptive strikes, and this is how they look. Another visit of the Ukrainian drones was in Yelets. This is also in Lipetsk region, and there they have a huge plant that produces various batteries and various accumulators that they use in drones and also in the Navy. You know that this war is the war of drones. Up to 80% of the Russian casualties are caused by FPV drones, and that is a very important reminder to our NATO partners. Trust me, you need Ukraine in the alliance, because out of all the countries fighting right now, the only one sharing your values, sharing your attitudes is Ukraine. And taking into account that this world is a very dangerous place with Russia, Iran, North Korea and China, you need someone adult, you need someone experienced. So by paralyzing such production facilities, we actually cause serious troubles for the Russian military machine. And by the way, there are tons of reports that it is very difficult to find people who want to work on Russian military factories and plants, and I'm sure you can guess why. No, not because they oppose war or they care for the lives of Ukrainian children, but because they know people often smoke these objects, and this results in days of detonations. So they start hiring people from different countries, deceiving them, promising they will work on shampoo factories or something like that. And these uneducated, unexperienced people come to Russia and get in serious troubles, or can even be, sent to the front lines. Right now, there are a lot of reports from the so-called mercenaries who believed they traveled to Russia to work at a shampoo factory. Never trust Russia, trust my Ukrainian experience. And remember to subscribe to demonstrate your solidarity with Ukraine. That's the easiest way, but extremely effective. And please like, share, and comment these videos. Let's save some people from the swamp of the Russian disinformation. Another visit of the Ukrainian drones tonight was to Tambov region, to the city of Kotovsk, and we will get more reports about that in future, but most likely they have a gunpowder, explosive powder factory there, so I believe it was a target. Anyway, lots of Russians, those who record videos, those who don't, those who live in the frontline regions, because let's be realistic, it's not just Kursk, Belgorod, it's also Tambov, Rostov, Lipetsk, Voronezh, Volgograd, many, Moscow, by the way, Tatarstan Republic. So not only those who live in this frontline. That's so beautiful. We now have front lines in Russia. Please, someone tell Trump that this largest country in the world, with the second strongest army, turned out to be a loser because they've spent 11 years trying to conquer not that much of the Ukrainian territory and simply, losing 1 million and applying scorched earth policy. That's not a kind of, even modern invasion. That's nothing. That's literally nothing. And now they cannot protect their strategic objects. I'm sure you understand. They don't want their military air bases or arsenals like the one in Kharkiv to be destroyed. They don't want their, 1/3 of their cruise missile carriers. A beautiful SBU operation with, dozens of Russian aircraft destroyed within hours. Spiderweb. And many things. And oil refineries, like 1/3 of the industry paralyzed. But they keep losing it because the air defense does not work. Because Russia was not prepared to the war on its territory. They so much wanted war in Ukraine, watching it on forums, on YouTube, but when they feel it, once again, they are lucky that we follow the rules of war and the rules of human beings, and we only target legitimate military objects. But even with that, hearing air raid alerts, hearing explosions, witnessing smoke, understanding that they lose billions of dollars for nothing when they don't have toilets in their flats. That's pathetic, and more of them are very dissatisfied. And by the way, in Russia, what they value most is not freedom, is not even money. It's this stability that they don't know what they mean, because it's not stability, it's a prison with total control where you don't have any responsibilities. And somehow, after, this decades or centuries of serfdom, they don't want responsibility because, freedom comes with responsibility. But they are super dissatisfied, understanding that their air defense is not working, that we can reach them with some special intelligence operations, like the already mentioned Spiderweb, and this sanction forever, of the military war criminals. I have just reported about one deputy Navy commander and one FSB general, and there is one more, neutralized in Kursk region. And the former mayor, Kremlin-backed in Luhansk after its occupation by the Russians, was also neutralized. And when you read the comments of these ordinary Russians who just a year ago cheered for more attacks on Ukrainian hospitals, they feel dissatisfied that their war criminals are neutralized deep inside the Russian rear. Because Russia is a classical bully. It likes to fake that it's a tiger, but we all know, as you beautifully say, I kind of It's a very dirty metaphor, but it's a used toilet paper tiger. It's not that I like it because I have a problem. I visualize the things I say or read, but that is the truth about Russia. A very unnatural, very raw Frankenstein that will collapse sometime really soon. And as the 4th of July is approaching, and I know that a lot of my American friends are not feeling very happy right now with all that chaos and a lot of betrayals, because it's not only Ukrainian air defense or this love for Putin that we all do not share, but a lot of internal things. So we've decided to make a small present in our merch shop, minus 15% on everything during the next 3 days. And if you like something, do check. And I'm always happy when you tell me that a lot of these caps and hoodies and t-shirts work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine, and we need that a lot. Thank you for that, and thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel. You see, now I have the second channel, more work, but I love sharing this information with you, and my recent video was about the new Putin strategy that will fail just as his blitzkrieg. And if you want to know the essence of it and why I remain confident in Ukraine's determination to finally end this 300 years of war, no, it was not started by NATO, but by Russian imperial character. So check that video and subscribe to my Anna Danilchuk channel too. Follow me on X, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, and Discord. All the links in the description of this video. And please know, I love you very much, and I'm so grateful that we have our community. That is super precious, and I hope it gives you at least a tiny bit of all that love and energy that I feel from you. That's my mission. Thank you so much for being friends of mine and friends of Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!